In this video, we will reveal the 10 things our parents lied to us about. It is confirmed. Your life is a lie. Yes, I said that. That is a shocker. Right. Do you remember when you'd be so engrossed in a movie? Probably the Hall Monitor Season 1 where Patrick is scared to smithereens, making fake siren sounds with the ice cream cone on his head. You're about to throw your head back and laugh hysterically at how Patrick is such a scaredy cat. And just then, the TV goes off. It is your mom, holding the remote with a scowl on her face. You stare at her wondering what exactly the problem is, and then she says, "Do you want to go blind?" And you wonder how an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants relates to blindness. And then she drops the bombshell. The number one lie that millions of people have come to believe and even pass on to their children: sitting close to the TV destroys your eyes. The image that comes to your mind is that of the blind man you saw on TV, walking with a stick, and you realize you don't want to be like that. So, you move farther and farther away from the TV. You would tell your children, and they would tell theirs, and then, the whole world is built on one lie. However, Harvard doctors have proven that your eyes do not get damaged when you sit close to the TV. Well, the second lie we were told is helpful in a way. It has turned should-be been chronic liars into saints. It goes your ears become a bright red when you lie. Think about all the times people have lied to you. Your parents, inclusive. Did their ears turn red? It should have even turned red while they said this to you. But our gullible brains had to believe them. We would tell our kids this too. It's just inherent in us. Lie to your kids to stop them from lying to you. That sounds amazing. Our ears only turn red when the temperature is hot. Blood moves to the peripheral parts like our fingers and the tips of our ears to cool off the heat. The widening of the eyes and an increase in heart rate when you lie is due to the rise in adrenaline. This is why you probably have been caught all the times you lied. However, there's no explanation for ears turning red when we lie. Haven't you realized that your lies do not get detected easily now you're older? That's because you're not as scared as you used to be when you were younger, and your body is learning to handle an adrenaline rush better. Furthermore, the blockbuster lie that has been told and retold is the cause of the indiscriminate sticking of gums beneath desks, on poles, on chairs, and everywhere. Our parents told us this matter-of-factly with their eyes sticking out and brows furrowed, concern and slight fear lacing their voices. They told us that swallowed chewing gum doesn't get digested until after 7 years. How they calculated the number of years is still an audacious wonder. I guess that's also where the theory that children aren't supposed to take chewing gums started from. Chewing gums are not readily absorbed, but research has shown that, in at most 2 days, chewing gums are defecated, and the chewer goes ahead living their best life. This lie was probably told to prevent indigestion in children, and to prevent kids from biting their tongues when they chew. Surprisingly, this lie has been passed down over centuries and centuries, and nobody ever wondered why chewing gums are not banned already instead of allowing the possibility of 7 years of gum stuck on your stomach. It is also a marvel why nobody makes kids realize how stinky and wrong it is to pee in the pool rather than birth the fourth lie, which is that the pool water turns red when you pee in it. The fear is that everyone would see red fluid coming out of your swimming pants, they would laugh at you, and you would be embarrassed. The scum of the earth. And you'd probably become the pioneer of the statement. Red pee in the pool. And maybe in the future, children would sing about you and laugh. You would be a legend though. Not all heroes were capes. This lie has prevented swimming catastrophes anyway. Imagine swimming in a pool of urine from different children. You'd probably swallow some of that, and by the time you have finished swimming, your whole body reeks of children pee. That would be horrific. But that's a lie. And that's a good thing. I guess you can now pee away. Busted? Wait, there's more. Do you remember the tooth fairy? Lie number 5. I guess the fifth lie should have some kind of huge impact. That's probably why this is coming now. Now, I want you to get the impact of how this lie had shaped our lives. First, the tooth fairy is a fantasy character that comes at night after children lose their baby teeth, to collect the teeth in exchange for a little gift. Hence, children are told to put their fallen tooth under their pillow while they sleep, or on their bedside table to enable the tooth fairy to collect it and drop a little gift for the child. This wouldn't exactly be classified as a lie though. A myth would be better. This myth arose from Northern Europe, where a small fee was paid when children lost their baby teeth. The child was then given a gift for passing that stage of their lives. However, the practice evolved into the tooth fairy idea that parents have passed down to their children over the years. The 2010 movie Tooth Fairy portrays how much this myth has come to become one of the valued stories and traditions of people. In the movie, a girl was heartbroken when she was told that tooth fairies didn't exist. The myth has birthed several speculative fictions and subtly holds all the love parents show to their children. These are because the gifts kids believe to have come from the tooth fairy came from parents who just love their children. These also align with the super popular myth of Santa Claus. Everyone has heard about the jolly, old Santa with the white beard, a red hat, and a red coat. He brings gifts to good-mannered children on Christmas Eve. He brings gifts ranging from toys and sweets. The toys are assumed to have been made by Christmas elves. And all the gifts are delivered by Santa Claus in his sleigh pulled by the flying reindeer. Children would usually leave some food for Santa before going to bed. It could be cookies, milk, cheese, potatoes, and any other thing might have. The practice dates back to the poem, A Visit from Santa Claus, which was written in 1823. But this was a lie too. The sixth lie. Santa is a myth. Just like the tooth fairy, our parents purchased gifts and kept them beneath the Christmas tree like Santa would have done if he wasn't just a myth. But the amazing thing is, Santa was and remains a magical part of our childhood and even adulthood. Santa stood for love and family and happiness, and I would not trade that for anything else. Santa is all a lie still. Tears. For lies to go, and I'm sure you don't hate your parents yet. The seventh lie has some kind of blind rationalization to it, but it eventually is what it is, a lie. Our parents told us that the first thing to do when you had a nosebleed was to tip your head backward. I am sorry to say this, but that advice is the fastest route to hell. Here is the thinking behind this lie. Tipping your head backward would prevent the blood from gushing out like a fountain out of a spoiled tap, that is your nose. It would keep the blood back and probably take the blood back to its usual location. However, tipping the head backward would make the blood go down into the throat, and that is not a good way for things to go, as it could go through the larynx instead and cause choking. Instead, a nosebleed is treated by tipping the head forwards and pinching the bridge of the nose down to the septum of the nose. The pressure applied by the pinch stops the bleeding. There you go. Another lie busted. A shocker. The eighth lie is the scariest. Imagine looking cross-eyed all your life. Or a weird, grotesque smirk forever because of a silly mistake. We knew fear from the very moment our mothers breastfed us. It was like a living, breathing being that existed alongside us all our lives. It's even worse thinking about the fact that most of our fears were built on myths. Lies. Misconceptions. Our fear of ghosts, haunted houses, and all of that was deeply rooted in the mythical stories we heard and believed and tried to make a reality out of. Were you ever told that when you make a face, your muscles might just get used to that position, and it would get stuck like that forever? When you make a face, that voice immediately comes ringing in your ears and you adjust your face again, because it is better not to make a face than to risk living with a screwed face forever. Well, it never happened to anybody. Our muscles are too flexible to get stuck in one position. So the next time you are tempted to make a face, the only consequence is you would look horrible for a minute or two, and that's about that. Your face remains beautiful forever. The ninth lie is the pioneer of trust issues in children and adults alike. And it is the most painful of all lies. The pain is sharp, like a razor cut, and you would cry for hours until you are appeased with chocolates or candy. but the wound would still be fresh in your mind. The "go and put on your shoes if you want to follow me" lie always ends with you hurrying out in a frenzy to find your sweet mom or dad gone, whereas they had promised to take you with them. What baffles me every time is that we never follow the once bitten, twice shy rule. We always get caught in the lie until every little ounce of trust we have is mortified and crashed to smithereens, and we are heartbroken once again. What amazes me the most is that we would pull the same stunts on our children even after it had left us with trust issues. I guess we would never get tired of the cycle. Now, we are here at number 10. Drum rolls for the biggest lie of the century. When you swallow a fruit seed, it would grow into a tree that has its roots in your tummy and the branches growing out of your mouth. Lots of people should have been moving around with apple, watermelon, and orange trees growing from their mouths. Seeds grow on soil and not on flesh and stomach acid. How gullible. Amazingly, we never saw anyone who had grown a tree, but we still believed it. And that shows how trusting and believing we were of our parents. We took their words for it. We embraced everything they said and lived by it. A lot of these lies were born out of an inherent desire in parents to shield their children from life's evils and instill good morals in them. However, like Walt Disney said, most things are good, and they are the strongest things, but there are evil things too, and you are not doing a child a favor by trying to shield him from reality. The important thing is to teach a child that good can always triumph over evil. That's it for this video. Can you also remember a few lies your own parents told you? Tell us about it by leaving a comment down below. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos.